just got to remember to unmute my mic today, huh? Hey, I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. All right. Hey, it's almost time for the Revolution in the Morning show. Streaming live from Franklin County, Virginia. I'm your host, Mitchell Bupp. Hey, everybody. We'll get some time to get in here to the chats and we'll get going. Just take a few minutes. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Now, y'all know I crank in exactly at 8 o'clock, right? Or, well, I should say because of the intros from before. And yeah, I'm going to make an intro video too, by the way. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. It's Krazy-Ass Friday's time. Yeehaw! Oh, yeah. Come on down and join us, ladies and gentlemen, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, and wherever else you might be able to join us. I've been struggling, not lying, lots of time issues, pulling everything together so it can be well, between this stuff and the other stuff. How's that sound? I've been pulling together a lot of different things that I've been doing. So anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Come on down and join us. Yeah. We'll just kind of hang out. We'll talk a minute. Lots of changes coming around here where I live. And if you're here early, you're going to know and you're going to find out that I have a house guest a guest right now. Hopefully, maybe he'll stay longer. Shh, don't tell Sharon that. Gosh, anyway. So I hope y'all are coming down. Wow. 2 minutes, no viewers. Everybody's forgot about Krazy-Ass Fridays. Yeah, so come on down and join us, ladies and gentlemen, and hope you're having a great day. God bless you. Because we really kind of do a little bit of kind of a walk-in intro thing, right? So give people time to get up in here because, hey, people takes time to transfer over from Revolution Radio over to here. But hey, it's much bigger audience potential. And thanks everybody for coming down and joining with us. It is time for Krazy-Ass Fridays. Man, I can't believe what these dipshits are doing. And they think they can do it again and again and again. Today, well, we live in a world of plain idiocracy, just outright stupidity. And most of it stems from a systemically failed government and the bureaucratic system that has essentially gone up around it. Yeah. Well, what do we got going on here this morning? Since it is April the 14th, 2023. Hope y'all are doing well. God bless you. Yeah. Anyway, so howdy, everybody. Howdy. Put out some comments there. So come on down and join us, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, you can get the straight truth, not that mainstream fucking bullshit. Hey, listen, when you watch the news in the evenings, that half hour of national propaganda. Remember, before they have the national nightly news, They always pump your brain with a local forecast, local news, local information. So when you go in and you tune in and you see the bombing, or excuse me, the fire, house fire that burned out a family, across town, or the automobile accident that snarled the highway on your way to work. You see that in your evening local newscast. And that kind of makes you unaware. You're not aware that you're just getting fed bullshit after bullshit after bullshit the next half hour after that. Okay. That they prime your brain with the local forecast. And then they come in with this national propaganda psyop from 6:30 to 7. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever considered that your news and information is basically so coordinated that you're living in the Truman Show? That you're fed pablum that the mainstream machine wants you to internalize, to learn, to use in your base programming of what you are and who you are today. And see, what they found was you got to get them young. And I mean young. You got to get them when they're little kids to mind fuck their brains, to screw them up for the rest of their lives. Crazy truth that we live with today. It's nobody wants to say it. Everybody's afraid to get canceled. Yeah. Fear. Fear is the mind killer, it is said. I really do believe that. The San Francisco, where the killing of Cash App founder Bob Lee kind of shook the city. And now it now has become now a tech worker that owned a company that was, I guess it was trying to get off the ground somewhat similar to what Cash App was. And evidently, the alleged killer and Lee knew each other, and they had been riding in the same vehicle. And there was an argument. And whatever happened, they stopped the car. Lee got out of the car. It was not his car. He wasn't driving. And that's how he got in the confrontation right there with the guy that he was riding with, who knifed him and then left. Yeah. So this guy's name, what's his? Moemi. Momeni. His name and an Emeryville, California address, according to San Francisco PD. He has a company called Expand IT, as it was how it should, but it's like Expand It with capital IT. Multiple sources describe the pre-dawn fight, which left 43-year-old Lee dead in a deserted area, they say, of San Francisco. Anyway, so yeah, now no word on the exact motivation you know. But we have to understand that, Lee is just one of a dozen homicide victims from San Francisco this year. But it's like everything else. His is the only one that garnered attention because of the Cash App. Otherwise than that, he'd have just been another dead person in the street. Well, there is just one good thing, though. There aren't as many dead people as piles of feces in the streets in San Francisco. Kansas City cops. Yeah. Speaking of stupid. Yeah, these guys are just effing stupid. Kansas City cops chased an elderly man and then tased him. Now, this guy was owner of a used car lot, right? He's an 80-year-old guy. But in Eastern Kansas Sheriff's Office, they pulled him over, and and I guess it was Lola, Kansas, Lola Police Department in Allen County, clocked him blasting through a 35-mile-an-hour zone at a whole 38 miles an hour. That's right. 3 miles an hour over the frickin' speed limit. They chase this guy down, and whether he doesn't pay attention or he says, "Hell, I'm not even doing 5 miles over the speed limit. What they chasing me for?" Anyway, so when he got where he was, he got out of his car and started to walk, and all of a sudden, he heard police shout, "Get your hands up!" And he looked at them quizzically and raised his hands. I guess it was two Chenant police officers pulled their guns. Anyway, and they're, "Get on the effing ground! Get on the effing ground!" Without warning, another deputy tased the old man named Sig. Yes. Even though the Taser X2 says, it's not a good thing to tase old people. And what was he doing? Fighting them? I mean, are these cops? I know cops shouldn't get into fisticuffs and club fight on the job. Okay. I'm not saying that's their job, but to go straight out for an 80-year-old man that appeared to be cooperating, they're either massive pussies or they felt threatened by an old guy. I don't know. Anyway, he cut his head on the ground when he hit on the dirt gravel, I guess, in the parking lot. Said he dropped like a rock. He mumbled and was hard to understand, as Wichita attorney said. Wrote, as officers talked with him on the scene, he indicated that he did not know what was going on and did not feel right. Yeah. His attorney, Randall Rathburn, or Bunn, served as a U.S. attorney for the District of Kansas in 93 to 96. He says, I can't believe it. I've never seen such stupid shit in my life. So he's suing them for $500,000, $250,000 in actual damages, and $250,000 in punitive damages. The sheriff's office would not return a call seeking comment about this news article. Court record shows Seg pled guilty to failing to yield to an emergency vehicle. Yes. What the hell is the matter with cops? Did they have did they have a middle, like a middle ground? Oh yeah, let's face it, if you go 3 miles over the speed limit, it's an execution by knee to the neck. Oh, let's conjure up George Floyd, the ghost of George Floyd. Hey, you know what they really don't tell anybody? You know what? And I heard this rumor. I don't know if it's true, but the way the news is today, it could be. George Floyd died of COVID. Never mind ingesting the fentanyl and the shit that he had just bought in the trade. So to swallow the evidence and overdose on fentanyl. Yeah, you're right, Nikki. You're absolutely right. Knee on the neck for everybody, right? Hey, good morning, Lolly. How you doing? God bless you. Come on down and join us. I hope y'all are doing well. Man, I'm telling you. So what do we got here? Who do we got here? We got we got 3 people here, they say on YouTube, and nobody on Facebook. Oh man. Well, if that's the case, we'll change Facebook over to Rumble or something, right? Yeah, and like I said, I got to get all that straightened up. And I've been having a horrible time with my internet. And some bitch was out again this morning. It went out 3 times yesterday and was out again this morning. And I have to reset both modems, the link system modem and the modem from the old CenturyLink modem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get another service so I can try to get a faster speed, because I'm going, hopefully, if things work out right, I'll have like a mobile hotspot. So, I'll be able to take it out and about, and set up a little better place than where I was the other day, too. But yeah. So, man, as long as it keeps it clicking along there, we'll be okay. But gosh, when they shut you down, they try to shut you down. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, 3 miles an hour over the speed limit for, that just seems to be all right. Hey, man, it's beautified St. Floyd. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Elfin. Elf. You know what I haven't heard the Pope yet give there's not a live feed on Facebook. Okay, let me go check that. Let me make sure we're streaming on Facebook. Huh. Well, I could explain it, wouldn't it? That would explain it. It should have a notification. Come on, where in the hell is it? Well, let's go over here to live. Yeah, that's weird. Hmm. Well, I'm going to have to check on that. Thank you for letting me know that the Facebook wasn't live. Let me see my schedule. Oh, this time I have none scheduled. Huh. Well, imagine that. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll have to troubleshoot that this weekend. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Who was that? Thank you, Lolly. I appreciate that. Great. Thank you. Like I said, all this is kind of all changing around, and we're getting this is kind of the second week, I guess, of the live streaming. Hunter Biden, that's right. Hunter Biden is out of the shadows, which means that the government has fortified their position about Hunter Biden. Is not going to jail. He may not even be charged. And the fucking government is using the statute of limitations clock to save the ass of the favored political class. It's a crime itself. It's called obstruction of justice. and the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Department of fucking Justice. Merrick Garland should be, look, that old fuck should be taken to Gitmo and fucking waterboarded. Oh, pardon my language. Maybe I just should call this fucking Friday, okay? Listen, Merrick Garland, Tony Blinken. You know who else? Not only Robbie Mook, but that fuck, Jake Sullivan. Jake Sullivan should be going to fucking prison for the rest of his natural life until he gets executed for the crimes that he has committed against America and the government here. You may not realize it, but Jake Sullivan is just one sorry motherfucking crap shot, okay? And this Obama, this third Obama administration sucks as bad as the other two. And one of the reasons that it sucks so bad that now they can do the illegal with executive order because dumb fuck, I don't know if I'm president or not, Joe Biden. He only knows he's president about 1 out of 10 minutes at a time, maybe. Or, 10 minutes at 10 minutes. And then the next, 10 hours, he's out to fucking lunch. He's got dementia. That's why Joe Biden is like this disposable Manchurian candidate. They could take Joe Biden. They can do anything. They will take Joe Biden and destroy America. And the Democrat Party can blame it on a demented old man and some people in the administration that allegedly got out of control. And they're fucking allegedly about it. Yeah. Nobody wants to say it. Meanwhile, over in France, the riots are continuing as they're having their own senior citizens BLM moments. As last week or earlier this week, the headquarters of BlackRock were taken over by protesters. This week, after Louis Vuitton's owner, what the hell is his name? After the its chairman was named the world's richest man with 168 billion euro. They raided the Paris headquarters of Louis Vuitton. No word on if everybody left with a really nice handbag or not. Hundreds of French workers have stormed the Paris headquarters of the luxury group LVMH as France faced another day of engulfed riots as Emmanuel Macron's hated pension reforms has most people out in the street. Anyway, Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Tiffany and Company, the French who owns them, has benefited from a post-pandemic demand for luxury goods. Yeah, people can't hardly eat, but luxury goods are going up through the roof, right? Yeah. Anyway, they took it over. No word on the next one. Well, how about the central bank? offices or some bank offices or something, right? Hey, how about overrunning those places? Where the where they're at, or hey, in good old French fashion, why don't they just they overrun the Bastille and get it done, get it over with, overrun the damn thing, declare the country invalid, and be done. Yeah. Yeah. What else we got going on here? Let's see. Get over here, news, information that, well, let's just say that you need to hear, need to know. Trump. Yes, Trump sues his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, for $500 million. Cohen was Trump's attorney for more than 12 years, from 2006 through 2018, and he was vice president of the Trump organization. So, as it happens that when you breach contracts and attorney-client privileges and duties to unjust yourself and to get yourself out of the lies that you've had involving your own personal business, then yes. Anyway, the lawsuit and the many wrongdoings by Michael Cohen, a convicted felon, stand for themselves and have been admitted to by Cohen himself, though his falsehood-filled books, podcasts, and constant media appearances. Anyway, so Trump says, look, that hey, we made it back. I don't know how long it was gone. Um, Evidently my internet crapped out. Well, hell, that's what I said. Well, hell. Anyway. 2 minutes. Thanks, Lolly. Well, that wasn't too bad because I was just going on a big ass rant. But yeah, man, that's why I'm getting this other internet. Okay. It'll be in next week, maybe, or it'll be week 10 days. Okay. But I'm going to get another internet service because this dropping, and it's a hardwire. It's not like it's a Wi-Fi, and that's what I'm going to go to a cellular based connection. So yeah, that's what's happened. So hey, I'm back. Hey, oh no. Hey, good morning, Amy. I hope you're doing well. God bless you. Yeah, and they all going after Trump. So, yep, it is some crazy, goofy stuff. Anyway, yeah. So that's weird. It says it should be streaming on Facebook, but it's not. Anyway, I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to kill myself in the middle of trying to do the show to adjust whatever. Okay. So French workers, I talked about a few minutes ago, and I talked about the Trump, going after Trump again and again and again. And Trump has sued Michael Cohen for a shitload of money. Michael Cohen himself lied and cheated. And then he had a Democrat dumb fuck lawyer who had him plead guilty to something that wasn't even essentially under the statute that he pled guilty to. And the reason they did that, so they could do what they're doing to Trump. They could, and what they tried to do to, I don't know if it was General Flynn or it was some other high profile case where fucking Andrew Weissman was involved, where they took a piece of one statue and they copy pasted it to the piece of another statue, and then they charged him with this crime that was literally two statues, different statutes combined to make the crime, which it wasn't even a crime because it was legal under this statute. It was legal under this statute. So it really was not a crime. And see, this is what they did with Michael Cohen. Had Lanny Davis, this fucked up Democrat, dumb fucking lawyer. It was all a plan. See, and this was Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen is either too fucking stupid to realize the overall strategy of the lawfare that is being used against Trump and against him. And Michael Cohen, if he knows that he pled guilty to something that is not a crime, so he could furtherance a conspiracy within the legal system. So you could manufacture charges and bring them in and out as needed by literally working different statues, pieces of different statues together. I mean, it's that simple. Okay. Yeah. Let me get back down here to the bottom. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna have to check that Facebook connection. So yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, it is So what else we got going on here? Something that might affect you. You can get healthier today. Why is that? Because Burger King has gone bankrupt. That's right, a Burger King franchise in the Midwest with 118 Burger King restaurants has filed for bankruptcy after accruing more than $14 million of Whopper debt. Yes, Whopper debt. $14 million worth. Wow. Anyway, newly released. They have plans, and it's Burger King is one of those zombie food companies that they don't really make a big profit. They kind of struggle along, but they have stock, and they strip the company. They pay all of the shareholders the extra money instead of keeping it to keep the company healthy. And see, that's the worst thing that a company that can happen to a company is if they get cash poor. Because once a company is cash poor, then they have to borrow, borrow, borrow. But I'll tell you right now, there is a whole thought of business, a whole school of business that says you never use your own money. You take all your money out of the business and you use somebody else's money. And they wonder why the shit will fail because you strip the corporation of its number one asset, and that is cash in the world, period. You operate on credit. Why? Because of taxes and corporate laws. It's crazy. But will Burger King survive in those areas? I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. There 20 let's see. Court filings revealed company closing 27 stores in Minnesota, Utah, Montana, Kansas, Nebraska, and North Dakota. It's Meridian Restaurants Unlimited filed for bankruptcy because of surging food costs and, of course, declining sales, right? That's pretty normal today. So they will close more than 100 stores in the 6 states that have been hard hit now. Wow. Meridian previously saw approval to shut just 23 restaurants at the end of March, but the company is, well, not finding anybody to help come save them. So about 400 people will be laid off from the areas. Anyway, so people that work there have started their own ventures. One guy has started a pizza company, and he's working on that. Now restaurants are recovering. They appear to have recovered since COVID. Adding pressures of the cost of living, deterred people from actually going out and spending money. And we make dinner here at the house most of the time. We don't go out to eat much, and one of the reason is the cost. But the other reason is too, I'm just a damn good cook. In fact, if it's supposed to thunderstorm and rain today, or I was going to smoke some barbecue, but I may have to wait and try to do that tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. I'm playing. I'll play it all by ear, man. I'm telling you, don't take as if everything is written in stone. Or, well, no, that's not true. If you're going to court, make your court date. Your court date's written in stone. They'll just swear out a capias for you for a non-appearance, or for not showing. Yeah, it's sheer crazy. It's yeah, and Lolly's right there in the chat. You can go to McDonald's and you can pay $25 for 2 people. Not me. I'm too damn cheap. Man, if I'm paying that much, I'm going out to like a Chinese buffet or someplace like that. Anyway, yeah. Hey, here's one for you. Who's this? That's what say. Hey, what do you call Tony T? But I never mentioned George Floyd. The programming is deep. Off my neck. Oh God. Man, I'm telling you. Nikki. Oh my God. That's I was gonna say something, brother, but I can't, my friend. God bless you, Nikki. Man, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's like that. God pray nobody kneels on your neck. Yeah, you got no problems. Sons of bitches. Hey, at least then you could sue them. Oh, never mind. You're Caucasian. Hey, can a white person sue and win anymore? I'm just kidding. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you, man. What else we got going on here? Oh, myself, man. Anheuser-Busch. That's right. Anheuser-Busch. That's right. 6 days after Anheuser-Busch, I'm a tranny beer campaign. They've lost $6 billion off the value of their stocks, of their stock, okay, off of their market cap, okay. So it's now said in an explanation that the company has said, the company said that a low-level marketing staffer who helps manage hundreds of influencer engagements thought that it was no big deal, thought it was all normal business to produce this tranny can. Okay. I mean, why don't they make a can that's shaped like a bottle and call it the tranny can? Because then it's a can bottle. If that makes sense. I think they have them some places. Anyway, the backlash has been incredible. Bar owners are crying the blues. Nobody's buying butt wipe. Distributors all across the United States are having all kind of problems because, well, they got a lot of Butt Light on the shelf still. And look, there's even been these publicity stunts to get rid of it. Listen, they're out here running thousands and tens of thousands of cans, thousands of cases of beer over with a steamroller, okay? As, a viral video. The question is, why? Why? I would rather see it all sit on the shelf so long the dirt or the dust that gathers on it, it gets so thick, it's dirt. Okay? Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's madness. It really is. It's just madness. So yeah. Meanwhile, everybody missed the big barbecue out there in Texas this week. That's right. Don't forget this past week out in Texas, a cattle farm, a milking farm, a massive milking farm where they bring cows in and milk them into these huge barns. And there was an explosion. I wonder if it was methane. Yes, did they have too many cows fart at the same time? 18,000 cattle blown up, dead, burnt. All cattle, on a daily basis, they all in and out, coming in to get milked and out. And, it's like your dog gets up in the morning, they want to go out to the bathroom, or they want, they got to go potty. Well, cow gets up in the mornings, where they want to go. They're going to go get something to eat and something to drink. Then they're going to fart. Then it's 7 stomachs. Well, now they're going to give the cow Beano. Yeah, they're going to give cow Beano. I mean, it's madness. Yeah, humans were going to give cows digestive supplements so cows don't fart. Can you believe that? So cows don't fart. Yeah. But according to some news reports that are coming out, that they've been already injecting certain pork products with mRNA vaccine spike protein vaccine based vaccines. Um, Now, I can't say that that's all throughout the industry. I don't know enough about it. Straight up. I don't know enough about it. Here, well, no screaming eagle shit. Okay. Hey, we were right again. All you folks that work in hazardous areas, on industrial jobs, around maybe asbestos or hazardous waste, or use a respirator in a highly contagious or contaminated zone. You knew, as I knew, that face masks offered little or no protection. A UK study published by the UK Health Security Agency found that no evidence could be presented to prove medical grade face masks protected vulnerable people from COVID. The study investigated whether the so-called high quality masks, such as the N95 or the KN95 or the FFP2 masks, helped protect vulnerable people in the community from catching the virus. The review did not identify, any studies for inclusion, so could provide no evidence to answer the research question. And the research question was, yes, the effectiveness of the masks. The UK government has acknowledged that the masks were more a symbolic tool to remind everyone that we were in a pandemic. Wow. And what it did was it caused people to have paranoia. It caused people to live in fear. It killed people because of the stress. I've seen families ripped apart by this. Take the shot. Don't take the shot. Wear your mask. Don't wear the mask. You're not going to do what and where. And, you're not going to bend over and kiss your ass just because a professional, a doctor, has said that you must. And it doesn't protect you, it protects the person in the house next door. It is idiocracy. But what we have seen, and that was a great test to understand the power of the brainwashing systems that the government has and the government uses every day. That's a serious problem, isn't it? It really is. I myself have gotten strikes on my YouTube channel because I question this stuff. Now, after years later, after being shadow banned and censored for how long on social media, the truth comes out. Now, the revealing study was published by the Frontiers in Psychology. It was found that people who consider themselves less attractive were more likely to wear the mask. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Masks are for ugly people. Oh my God. Well, ugly, I guess, is a yardstick, right? Yeah. It's crazy. But wow. The 21-year-old Jack Teixeira has been arrested for the Pentagon leak over the Discord Thug Shaker Central channel, where he was a member or oversaw a private online group. So yeah, evidently now this is let's see what they say about. Was this the guy? 21-year-old National Guardsman. Um, Teixeira was he was identified by the New York Times ahead of his arrest at his home in Dayton, Massachusetts. Thursday afternoon, television footage appeared to show armed personnel leading a male wearing red shorts and a green and red shorts and a green short with his hands cuffed behind his back. Shirt. That must be a shirt. I think that's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what's in the picture. Typo. Yeah, typo there, Zero Hedge. Two police cruisers on the town of Dayton were blocking the road near the residence. They declined to speak to anybody why they had blocked the road. And a row of people were standing there in the street where they lived, waiting to get to their house. One neighbor said police began blocking off the street around noon. At least one vehicle outside the police blockade had U.S. government license plates. Yeah. Anyway, so they have a somebody took a oh man, so there's somebody took there was at least 2 to 3 helicopters over his house at all times. No, excuse me, there was 4 different helicopters in this national security incident to pick this guy up. Evidently, he's a 21-year-old member of the intelligence wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard, according to interviews and documents reviewed by the New York Times. Anyways, he oversaw a private online group named Thug Shaker Central, where about 20 to 30 people, mostly young men and teenagers, came over to share their love, guns, racist online memes, video games, and such. Yeah, so it was on Discord, by the way. Reports suggest that he hasn't even been interviewed by authorities yet, but likely the young man can expect a knock on his door. NBC was reporting on air. So anyway, we have to understand that. Remember, the U.S. government said that it was Russia and pro-Russian elements behind the leak of these documents. Oh, the same old lying and tired story by the U.S. Federal government. Man. Anyway, so the military situation in Ukraine is not looking good. Anyway, what it exposed, though, was not just about the poor military shape that Ukraine is in, but it also showed that the U.S. is spying on its own allies, spying on Zelensky, and its real prospects for Ukraine's war with Russia is 180 degrees. What good old John Kirby and the Pentagon says, we can win. It's no problem. We know we can win. Yeah, it's these people are idiots. And, as we know, democracy dies in the darkness. And that's the Washington Post, the New York Times, ABC, NBC, CBS, Time Magazine, Newsweek, and all the other mockingbird media motherfuckers out there that turn your brain into a pretzel And then you don't know what to do to really believe because you don't have an authority figure that you can point to. So what does happen though? All right. Hey, we caught it quick that time because I was looking right at the All right, let's try again. Hey, did we make it? That's what I said. Shit. Anyway, the internet's been out 3 or 4 times. It's been in and out and in and out and in and out. Okay, just in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Hey, good morning, Greg. Hey, howdy, Greg. Greg got home and Mitch has been in and out the window ever since. Well, hopefully we'll get over this little blimp of what we have going down here on the internets, and we'll get back over here to the get back over here to some more news and information. Get knocked off, get back on 2 or 3 other times. And yeah. So let's see. Leaks claim Russia's special forces have been decimated. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, hey, remember all the other stuff they said, right? I guess Ron DeSantis likes his pudding and he eats it with his fingers or ate it with his fingers one time. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, anyway, let's see. So we get back here. We got back. What else we got going on? Wow. Oh my God. What the hell is the matter with people? Clarence Thomas and relatives sold family properties to wealthy GOP donor. What, they can't sell their properties now if they're black? No, yeah, so if you're black and you own a property, you have to sell to other black people. I mean, is that what they're trying to say? I mean, I don't know. ProPublica, well, that figures. Clarence Thomas Harlan Crow Real Estate SCOTUS is the tag in it. Yes. No thanks. I'm all set. 2014, Texas billionaire Harlan Crow's company purchased a string of properties on a quiet residential street in Savannah, Georgia. It wasn't a marquee acquisition for the real estate magnate, but just an old single-story home and 2 vacant lots down the road. What made it noteworthy on the other side of the deal was Clarence Thomas and the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and his relatives. Crow bought the properties for $133,363 from 3 co-owners, Thomas's mother and the family of Thomas's late brother. The purchase put Crow in a usual position where he owned a house where the justice's elderly mother was still living. Soon the sale was complete. Contractors worked on tens of thousands of dollars of improvements on the 2-bedroom home, 1 bath that looks out into a patch of orange trees. Wow, sounds iconic, doesn't it? Renovations included carport, repair roof, the new fence and gates and such and whatever. Federal disclosure law passed after Watergate requires justices to disclose the details of the most real estate sales over $1,000. Thomas never disclosed the sale of the Savannah properties. Disclosure form filed Thomas for that year had a space report to identify the buyer of a private transaction. Space is blank. Well, anyway, so any way to attack a conservative and Clarence Thomas is the way it's going to be. Okay. Remember, we live in a time of fuck you lawfare warfare. Okay. And the Democrat Party will use every slight, will use every missed blank space to say that you didn't fill something out. At the same time, the same Democrat Party is sexualizing your young children in high schools, elementary schools, and even in kindergartens. Kids are being trained to be sexualized instead of focusing on education. Educators seem to be focused on predation and to groom children into a 57 varieties of sexual whatever you choose to be. If you take boy and girl, right, male and female, and you fractionalize that into 50, or even some places they say it's 100 and some different fucking genders. I didn't know fucked up in the head was a gender, but I really starting to think that it's just like the most common one out there. I know. I know. It's crazy. Ah, wow. It is. It's just wacko. New Jersey. Why? Why? What the fuck? 70 animals found in a pickup truck. 70 cats and dogs. Investigators say live animals were filthy while the deceased ones were carefully wrapped up and placed in cookie tins. The animals were under socialized but friendly, said a volunteer. Yes, Lolly, you're about right, man. I'm telling you. Lost my grandbabies to cell phones. And then you lost Mitch to Wi-Fi. That's funny. Oh God, that is kind of funny. But God bless you guys. Thanks for tuning back in. We still got 7 or so people over here on Twitter, or excuse me. Oh hell, on YouTube. Sorry about that. But yeah, tell everybody if you see, tell them to come on over, check it out, and we're gonna have better internet service, I'm sure, coming in the next week. This is just utterly ridiculous, isn't it? Let's see what else we got going on here. Man, oil tanker vanishes after pirates boarded off West Africa. Yep, it was about time for the pirates of West Africa to start and how should we say it? Hijack some more oil tankers and hold them for ransom. After all, that probably is one of the most profitable businesses in that area. Singapore flagged oil tanker Success 9 missing off the African coast after a suspected pirate attack. 300 nautical miles off the coast of Aberdeen, Cote Corvel, the automatic identification transmission system went down. Owners have been unable to contact the ship since it was boarded Monday night off the Ivory Coast, according to a statement from the government of Singapore, where the vessel was registered. The incident is being treated as an act of piracy. Yeah. Meanwhile, one of the prosecutors, wow, this is a good story. One of the prosecutors for the Nuremberg trials came out and said after George E. Bush invaded Iraq without a UN Security Council resolution that George E. Bush had committed a war crime. I can imagine how he feels today about the mass medical experiments that have gone on. Yeah. UN seeks vast new powers for global emergencies. Global emergency protocols would automatically be triggered. Just like the World Health Organization and the pandemic treaty. If the World Health Organization says there is a worldwide pandemic, all signatory countries must implement a certain set of protocols. In the ongoing move to have a new world order, a higher global government system, and have meat and power and enforcement of the rule of law, the UN is trying to, how should we say it? They're trying to strike now in the Great Reset. They want tools to deal with international emergencies, such as what? Pandemics, right? Economic crises. Yeah. And of course, the Biden administration, or excuse me, of the Obama's third term president, he agrees and he goes with it. Among those expressing concern is the House Foreign Affairs Committee Representative Chairman Michael McCall, who oversees foreign policy, says we must be sure that any global protocol or platform operated by the UN respects U.S. national sovereignty and U.S. taxpayer dollars. They haven't in the past. What makes you think they will in the future just because they sign a piece of paper? The United States of America signs all kinds of pieces of paper, all kinds of treaties, all kinds of agreements. But we really don't use them and pay attention to them unless they benefit us and they put a handcuff on somebody else. That's the real truth of the world that you live in. That's facts, okay? Central banker going to jail, maybe. Maybe. The head of the Slovak Central Bank has been convicted of bribery. Yes, one of the most outspoken hawks on the European Central Bank Governing Council was convicted yesterday, Thursday, of bribery and fined $110,000 or 100,000 euros. The country's special criminal court handed National Bank of Slovakia Governor Peter Kazimir a 2-year suspended sentence and said Katrina Kajava, spokesman for the court, not paying the fine would mean jail time. However, as typical with every other chaotic decision in Europe, the verdict was issued without a trial. Oh, really? He's guilty. No trial. Hey, is this motherfucker related to Trump? I mean, I'd like to know, is he like Europe's Mega Man or something? That doesn't sound like it, but yeah. And the state prosecution service appealed it shortly afterward, sending the case back to court. Also, Kazimir could appeal. He accused of handing a bribe of 48,000 euros, $53,000 to the head of the country's tax office related to a tax investigation of private corporations. But few details were available because there was no trial. Hell no. You don't want to name the companies because then the companies would be forced and opened up to all kinds of other lawsuits from their competitors because of their bribery and illegal actions. President Zuzu Kapotova said Kazimir Aziz should consider resigning. Anyway, the Prime Minister, Edward Heger, called it unacceptable for him to lead the central bank. Why? Why? Everybody knows the central banks are just fucking corrupt pieces of the Rothschild banking system and the New World disorder and the controlling of all your money and everything else in your life. Hell, everybody knows it. Well, that's not true. If you listen to ABC, NBC, CBS, fake Fox News, or listen to the Mockingbird media, New York Times, the Washington Post, you really don't know anything except what you've been programmed to know. What you've been told you have permission to know. And that's why they won't have a trial. Because you know damn well there's other people involved. Yeah. And what about the tax guy? If the banker paid the money, what about the guy that took the bribe? Yeah. Anyway, the U.S. slaps sanctions on a Hungary bank over its ties to Russia. Now, this comes directly after leaks revealed that the U.S. has been spying on Viktor Orban, the Hungarian prime minister, and has now set forth a path with Samantha Powers and other scum-sucking bastards for a color revolution funded by U.S. money, another overthrow of a fucking government by the U.S. because we buy and sell countries like little pieces on a chessboard. Yeah, that's the unfortunate the facts and everything else that we know. Well, auto profit bust looms as inventory and discounts rise at the dealers because sales are short and profit margins are thin. You have to sell more to make less. Doesn't make sense, I know, to some people, but that's how it really is working. So there you end up with with all retail suffering severely because of the stripping and the gutting of the profit margins, which banks need to exist by. Right? I mean, that's the fact of what we know and we see. Wow. So in the US government, the recent leak of these classified documents in the Pentagon, wow. 1,250,000 people actually have top secret clearance and access in the United States government. So, in all honesty, the amount of leaks that they have and the number of people involved, it is pretty secure. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Dianne Feinstein to step down from the Judiciary Committee amid calls for her resignation, not only in the committee, but she should be recalled from Congress because the simple fact is her brain is essentially the same place Joe Biden's is, and it's out to fucking lunch somewhere. Anyway, it's obvious that she can no longer fulfill her duties, and it should be obvious that she has not been fulfilling her duties for a long time, as her staff and other Democrats have essentially kept her propped up like they are now doing with the fucked up Fetterman from Frankenstein, Pennsylvania. Or is it now? Are they going to change the name, Shapiro? Are they going to change the name of Pennsylvania? Get rid of the colonial Penn part and call it Transylvania, United States? I mean, really, that's a question you have to ask. I mean, these idiots in Congress and in government today appear to have gotten elected by the dumbest of humanity. But really, it's just the most gullible and the most brainwashed of humanity that actually throw themselves into the two-party circle jerk. What else we got going on here? January 6th, the American Reichstag, where the Democrats tried to pull a Nazi and have a major false flag attack on the Capitol building, Parliament building of America. You realize that? On April 7th, a decision issued by the D.C. Court of Appeals may jeopardize a key legal backing used by the Department of Justice to prosecute participants in the January 6, 2021 Capitol breach. What this opinion did, it practically begged for other January 6 cases to be brought up to the Court of Appeals that would permit a more balanced opinion. An attorney named Watkins, who has represented 4 of the January 6 defendants, including the released prisoner Jacob Chansley, told the Epoch Times on April 11th. He says, the Court of Appeals on April 7th struck down a lower court ruling in a 2-1 dismissing the federal charge against 3 January 6 defendants and rejected the lower court's reasoning about the scope of the obstruction charge. In other words, it's doing the same thing that they're trying to do to Trump. That's all lawfare. They twist the law around to attack their enemies, and then they twist the law back around the other way to essentially give immunity and relief to the people that supports them in a violent manner. That's what I'll say. Yeah, it's sheer crazy. The key issue about all this is corrupt intent. This obstruction charge, one of the necessary components is a corrupt intent to shut down the proceeding. And listen, corrupt intent. If you don't write down, I'm going to the Capitol to shut the fucking place down. If you didn't write that on a blog post, they can't get it out of your brain. They may be able to trick you into saying it, but at least then you can fight that in court. A Trump appointee, Justin Walker, in his opinion, concurring with the ruling, said that, this is implausibly broad. In other words, it's so implausibly broad that you have to interpret what somebody is thinking without any evidence. Now, how in the fuck can anybody do that? How can any prosecutor, any judge, anybody without any evidence know what a person was doing, saying, and thinking at one specific time in history years ago? They can't. And they don't. That's why this is all a farce. It's so farcical. The truth is the January 6th committee, the dumb fucks that sat on it, should be hauled into court and should be sued by all the January 6th defendants for breach of their fucking civil liberties and keeping them tied down, locked up in a fucking shithole in Washington, D.C. This is a massive civil liberty violations, because if they can do it for years to these clowns, imagine what they'll be able to do in the future. I tried to keep explaining to everybody, look, man, if they can frame Trump and with his status, his lawyers, the professionals that he has hired to do this stuff around him, if they can still go after Trump and spend as much money and time to save their trillions of dollars of bribes and fucking quid pro quos that the federal government is nothing but built on, and they attack Trump, they're seditious, traitorous motherfuckers. January 6th is nothing compared to what Hillary Clinton, lard-ass William Barr, and Mr. Depends, Jeffrey Sessions, Jesus Christ. You want to talk about inept, worthless, fat, sorry fuck Bill Barr and Jeff Sessions? Oh, Jesus Christ. Hell, one works for the deep state, the other one has no balls. Or pretended he had no balls. I don't know which. All I know is that our government and our judicial system, our legal system, our FBI is fucked. It really is crazy. It really is. Without a definition, Walker wrote, the obstruction charge could become implausibly broad and thus criminalize any lawful attempts to influence congressional proceedings, protests, or lobbying, for example. Think about when Alexandria Cortez and those nut job liberals went into Pelosi's office and whoever's office it was and locked it down and protested. Why weren't they treated as the others? Why weren't the June, July, August, September rioters all across the United States, why weren't they treated the same way the January 6th rioters were? Really? It's because it's lawfare. It's warfare against the average person. And they're using the warfare and lawfare just to change every damn thing. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning, Johnny. Do you hang with Trump enough to say you know him? No, I don't hang enough with anybody to say I know them. That's why I'm this independent. Do all the political douchebags hang out with Trump and they know him? Trump is New World Order. Yeah, well, that's possible, Johnny. But understand, Trump is the only one that's trying to put America first and not the New World Order first. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. What's Nikki have to say? Didn't Stormy Daniels just get ordered to pay Trump, pay out $150,000 to Trump recently? Yes, she did. In addition to the $500,000 that the broken down, saggy tittied whore. Yeah. Yeah. I agree, Johnny. I agree. Trump runs his mouth at the wrong place, the wrong time, saying stupid shit, and he definitely appoints system lords, people that are ingrained into the political system. So yeah, it's crazy as it might seem, right? Yeah, well, let's see. I'm gonna try this view and see if it's on Facebook. See if the broadcast is streaming on Facebook. It had been. I've seen it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay. I see the link here on Facebook. I guess I'm gonna have to specifically share this link from now on for Facebook. But I'm pretty sure. Um, I'm pretty sure that's that should be the link for the Facebook link if anybody was interested. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, and that's the problem. Every person you bring in is going to have some kind of baggage with them. Now, I do fault Trump for picking piss poor people to help him run his campaign. I, I don't know where Trump gets half these yo-yos that help him run his campaign. It's just crazy. It is. It's just crazy. But we have to understand that people think that right now that like since Trump that we just have fake news, that since the pandemic and these misinformation, disinformation boards and government and these private collaborations and Poitner Institute and the retard censors from the UK and others, working directly with the US government to shape the minds of people. That's what communist governments do. That's a serious problem. But we have to understand this is not new. Fake news, bullshit news from like ABC, NBC, CBS, fake Fox News. See, the perception is that this is a new phenomena, that fake bullshit propaganda news is just something that recently happened in this evolution of the corporate control of TV, radio, and now the internet, okay? And communications in general. That's not true. These same news outlets were propaganda 60 years ago in 1963 when I was just 3 years old, okay? Or almost 3 years old. I was still in the terrible twosies. But think about it. Through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, and now in 2020s, we live in this immersed propaganda of situation of lies that have been perpetrated on our brains. We are literally born into this matrix of illusion. Because as we grow up, we don't know exists. We don't know, our parents generally don't say, oh, well, that's all a lie. That's fake news. That's not true. We are generally taught to believe the places where we get our authority figures, right? I mean, what we know in history has to be fixed. It has to be, people have to realize that Richard Nixon was removed from office by the fucking CIA, the FBI, the intelligence services, the powers behind the throne, so to speak, okay? Because he was endangering their order and their bureaucratic and political enemies struck. And they took Tricky Dicky down. Mark Gobert and Eric Hunley. Man, you ought to check that out. They did a podcast on this exact topic, where Woodward and Bernstein, two young reporters, were played for suckers. They were played for suckers by an upper level CIA agent who was essentially planning information to get Nixon taken out of office, to neutralize the president. That's what happened to Tricky Dicky. Imagine that. JFK, they couldn't murder Nixon the way they did JFK. They couldn't with the way they did Bobby. They did with Martin Luther King. They couldn't kill yet another American president. Because the American people won't stand for it anymore. Now, today they might. Today we have enough historical space and enough generational space and enough mind-controlled, stupid people space that they could get away with killing a president or two. Or not so much a not a president, but a higher level House person type. Yeah. Anyway, Nixon was removed from office. And the reason that Nixon couldn't really speak up and lay it all out was because Richard Milhouse Nixon was part of the CIA. He actually played a role in the Bay of Pigs with Georgie Bush. It's very interesting podcast that Eric and Mark put out about that. And so you should understand, just like the Steele dossier and all these reporters claim to be, uncovering this dirt to take out Trump. It's the same playbook as they did with fucking Nixon. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Hey, how you doing there, River Rat? God bless you. Yeah, good evening. Yes, have a great evening out in the river, man. I'm telling you. Wasn't that funny the day Fetzer thought he was off air? Yes, Johnny. Yeah, I know. I told him he was on air though. Fuck Mitchell, where you at? Fuck. No, anyway, yeah, it's sheer crazy, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, oh my God, it's nuts, man. But oh my God, yeah. So what else we got going on here? Oh yeah, Iran, Russia, China, Pakistan foreign ministers are holding a meeting to deal with the Afghani economic collapse. Yes, all the countries surrounding Afghanistan are facing influxes of refugees. Why? Because it's going back to the old biblical time of the Taliban and hell. Yeah, as crazy as it might seem. Absolutely. Anyway, so yeah. Poor living conditions caused by U.S. sanctions, a surge in terrorism in Afghanistan as the Taliban, right, fight with ISIS. Remember, the Taliban aren't as biblical and as extremist as ISIS, so they are demonized by ISIS. I mean, really. Florida State University professor leaves his job after claims of fraudulent racism study. And now we got a fake data hate crime. This guy was making $190,000 a year. Florida State University. He resigned. Said that his the wake of accusations, he distorted data with the purpose of finding racial prejudice where none existed. Nah, really? Oh my God, man. Anyway, accusations of his fraud originated in 2019 and they became a credible witness. University of Albany professor Justin Pickett, who co-authored the 2011 study with Stewart. The study concluded that as Black and Hispanic populations grew, the public sought more discriminatory criminal sentences. Pickett, however, says the data found no such relationship Indeed, at least where Hispanics are concerned. The data point uh the data point to the opposite effect. Anyway, so once again, people are led into a false belief that will be gobbled up by liberals because, oh my God, look, that confirms the racial bias. This professor, this pilot higher and deeper bullshit artist. Anyway, he told the Washington Times, the data thugs are after me. He said, all seems very personal. All the blame is being directed to me, he told them. The university was accused of pursuing flimsy and tainted 2020 inquiry in a seemingly conflict of interest. Two of the three people charged in the investigation had charged with the investigation, had co-authored research with the accused. Yeah. Look, if you're writing about the same paper, how the hell can you do it? Really? It's just idiocracy. You can look at something and you can find anything anywhere because of a perception that people have. You think, therefore you see. If that sounds simple enough for you, okay? If you think, therefore you see. Let's see. Putin, personally approved the arrest of the Wall Street journalist reporter. Russia rules out prisoner swap negotiations before a court verdict is handed down. Biden administration proposes reducing water supply from the Colorado River basin amid drought. Well, why hasn't California taking water and desalinating it? Really? Why is that? Historical colonization of the Rocky Mountain water supply in the Colorado River? Stealing the economic growth and the clean fresh water out of the Rockies and pumping it and stealing it for California? And then charging people, crazy stuff. Well, there it is. Rat czar. That's right. New York City has found out a novel way to put more money out there, to waste more money, as they now have a director of rodent mitigation. And that's pretty Orwellian, isn't it? Hey, the bitch is the head rat catcher. Man, is she going to start in City Hall and the State House? I mean, if you're a rodent mitigator, don't you get cockroaches and other things out of the system? Really? Anyway, she is to be paid $155,000 a year. With a main focus on getting rid of the city of rats. Oh, man. The rat czar is on the payroll. Kathleen Correa, introduced by New York City Rat King, Mayor Adams. Her title officially, Director of Rodent Mitigation, the Rat Queen. Mayor Adams announced earlier this year that he would be looking for a fighter in the city's war against rats and was willing to pay $120,000 to $170,000 for someone to do so. Wow. Anyway, she said when I first saw the job posting, I wasn't sure it was real. Cornati said, but Adams knew it was meant to be, stating that almost a job made for her. She will look at the most effective technique to mitigate the rat problem. The city is already putting place a plan to keep garbage from sitting on the street at night in long hours, enforcing cleanliness and whatever. Look, starve the people to death. They'll eat the rats. You won't have a rat problem. In fact, there'll be rat vendors selling deep fried rat on a stick in the street. Hey, I was in Panama. Yeah, you can commute from the armpit of New Jersey. That's right. But yeah, the rat czar, man. I'm telling you, it's sheer crazy. Okay, what Nikki say? Uh it, it's official. The Pied Piper has been hired. You get a star for that one, brother. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah, anyway, the rat czar is now on duty in New York City. Rail volumes, freight shipped by rail has declined through week 14. The first 14 weeks of the 2023, I guess, train season. So, wow, man, unbelievable. Let's see what else we got. North Korea test fires a new to harder to detect intercontinental ballistic missile. The U.S. condemned the launch, but says the door is not closed on diplomacy. Well, closed door is, pretty cool, right? Sometimes an open door and a bikini barista is just what the ticket ordered. As hillbilly hotties. That's right, hillbilly hotties won a 6-year legal battle over employee attire at their Seattle drive-through booths, where the bikini baristas show their wares in skimpy little bikinis. And of course, there could be tips involved. I'm sure there's dates and everything else involved. But anyway, while the current lawsuit is 6 years in the making, the story starts in 2009 when Everett, Washington officials say they received complaints that some stands were selling sex shows, sex acts, and allowing customers to, let's just say, grope a barista. In other words, they patted the bottoms of their babies. The Sonoma County Sheriff's Sergeant was also arrested for tipping off a barista about undercover cops looking for sexual favors. In 2013, the owners of two of the espresso stands were arrested in accusations. Of course, they promoted prostitution and exploited a minor. So the little drive-through baristas called Hillbilly Hotties, that's right, won a $500,000 lawsuit as the ordinance had violated their First Amendment rights to show a nipple and serve coffee at the same time. Yes, while Edge and her employees sought $3 million, they did settle for $500,000. The settlement still gives us our best tool to require stand owners to make sure the employees are not engaging in what could be considered illegal conduct. I guess that brings a new meaning to going out and getting some creamer on your coffee. Meanwhile, the Global Disinformation Index organization withheld information on its own operations. Gabe Kaminsky at the Washington Examiner is reporting that two U.S. nonprofits tied to the Global Disinformation Index are withholding information on their operations to protect staff and donors. Donors that donated to make sure that COVID, Trump, your freedom, your sexuality is all ingrained into your brain by the proper persons, by the proper people. And they donate the money to make sure that you get brainwashed. Now the motherfuckers don't want to let you know who's been paying to have you brainwashed. Why does that sound so much like the government? The National Endowment for Democracy, which is just another bullshit government Orwellian agency. They don't do shit for democracy. They just try to spread the soft and the hard power of the United States of America. And you do what we say. Do what we say or we'll kill you. If you don't do what we say, we'll just smack you upside the head. Then we'll kill you. And see, it's for whoever goes up against this United States New World Order corporate machine. Well, you got two choices. You do what they say and you die, or you get smacked upside the head and you die. That's basically what this New World Order is all about. We basically see harassment campaigns, counterintelligence, political operations have become the standard and norm once again. Or the question is, did they never really disappear? Did they just evolve? Did they just become more sophisticated? In other words, the government is pissing down your back and telling you it's raining, and then they're shitting in your floor and telling you some stranger came along and did it and they never saw anything. It really is pretty fucking disgusting, man. Pretty disgusting. San Francisco State University athletic director proves that her education was just plain fucking worthless. Yes, another educated idiot out of San Fran feces. San Francisco State University Vice President for Student Affairs, Jamali Moore, sent out a memo thanking activists for peacefully taking part of the anti-Gaines protest, the Riley Gaines appearance, and even called them brave. This educated retard, yes, an educated retard, says that it is a common mistake to believe people might have a competitive advantage due to their physical abilities. Hey, dumb fuck. I mean, really, what's your fucking IQ? Every sport, every competition is based on somebody's physical abilities. Jesus, man. Had these people have lost their fucking minds, or it went down the drain with their fucking education. Stephanie Sharif Hawkins, who, according to her faculty page, has 20 years experience in collegiate athletics, said that some athletes can see competition as an enhancer of negative thoughts against trans people, making some forget about other issues like inclusivity. You wouldn't see this with dancers or or any other thing that's physical, she said. How the fuck can you say that? Really? How can anybody in their fucking mind say that it is just with athletics perspective? We live in this society that's so competitive. You're just a dumb bitch. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Put it in the comments. Am I wrong for saying, what the fuck? Really? It's idiocracy. It really is. Yes, there's no difference in physical and athletic abilities of men and women, and there's no advantage. My God, people are nuts. They're educated idiots. Okay, since we got back to the educated idiots, let's try to see what fresh news and information we got coming out. Uh-oh. Whoa, here we go. Joe Biden is a criminal, says ex-Obama whistleblower, alleging a family kickback scheme that Barack Obama more than likely knew about it, but turned his head and approved of it. Why? Because that's how Washington operates. If you haven't figured out now by looking at Hillary Clinton's foundation or the Hunter Biden whatever fund, or the grandkids funds for the Biden family, or the Nancy Pelosi and all these others, organized fucking crime. As I have said before, the entire upper levels of the American political system are all fucking crooked. Period. House GOP circulates debt limit framework. Oh, yeah. We're 30 some trillion dollars in debt. The world reserve currency status, which is really the prime jewel of America's wealth, is going down the toilet, and they're going to limit debt limit, right? They just should tell everybody, sorry, the dollar's not worth anything. Your paper is junk. Yeah. The Democrat National Committee is now seeing Mark Elias as a major liability. Mark Elias will take the Democrat National Committee, will take Hillary Clinton to prison with his ass. Mark Elias should be waterboarded until waterboarded with soapy water until he starts farting bubbles out his ass. That'd be the only best thing to do. Anyway, listen. Mike McCormick, stenographer for the White House for 15 years, who worked with Biden from 2011 to 2017, said that the FBI has completely ignored him despite his willingness to testify under oath before the grand jury. Hey, I know what you mean. I know about the ballots, some of the ballots and stuff going on in the Georgia runoff election and the ballot stuffing. Oh, no, nobody wants to talk to me. No, this is exactly how it is. They selectively pick the information that they want to investigate. It's like taking a charge and going after somebody that did not commit a murder. That didn't commit the murder. So you go after this person over here, so your friend or your neighbor or whatever doesn't get in trouble, and it doesn't ruin your whole gig into the future. Because how is Obama going to rape and steal and rip off the government? How is Mark Elias going to do it? Truth is, it's not a long time partnership. These sons of bitches should get the Michael Cohen treatment. Perkins Coie and Mark Elias, everything they have done, even a parking ticket that they signed, that should be taken into custody by investigators. The millions of documents from Perkins Coie and the DNC and Mark Elias, Fusion GPS, and the rest of them in a massive RICO sedition traitorous investigation. That's what Donald Trump really needs to do. Now, does he have the balls? Would he have the fucking guts to do it when he gets back in? I don't know. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I want to run in 2024. Should we make it that far, the Democrats don't blow up the world with a nuclear war with Russia. Well, because they know they're going to lose their ass. Yeah. So anyway, we're still kind of kicking in here. We're doing it, and let's see what's Johnny said. I'll take a good look at that, Johnny. Yeah. All right, Johnny. I'll check that as I get off the air, because I'm just wrapping this up. But I'll get with you. Oh, okay. What's he got here? Dun, 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 dun. What's he want me to read? Let me see. The same shit in the vaccines. So all kids, let me see. So all kids won't have children had, yeah, it's a eugenics program that we're living in today. We had to tried to get away from eugenics. And what has happened is the medical system, as we moved away from the horrors of the eugenics of the 20s, 30s, and 40s into the 70s, the move away from that, now there has been a cycle back around, by these sheer crazies. Let's see. Here's what he posted. If you can read without the just put your own breaks in there. She will be with us in the company CRISPR to reduce the population. Yeah. I understand, Johnny. Absolutely. I'll give you everybody a minute to read that. I'm getting ready to jump off here. We have 7 minutes after 10, but I got locked off for a couple minutes. So we'll get our 2 hours. Even if we had a little breakdown there in the middle of it. But yeah. So, yeah, it is really sick, Johnny. Johnny's is absolutely right. Anyway, so God bless, Johnny. Yeah, we have been, just like our bodies have been fucked up with all the food additives. They have essentially done all the other stuff, right? They have essentially corrupted, adulterated, everything that is good, that everything that is works. They have taken that and broken it on purpose. And it's usually one, they can kill us off and they can make more money. And that's a win-win for them. It's unfortunate, but that's the truth of what we're looking at. So anyway, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm getting ready to jump off here. I got to go. I've got my brothers come to stay with me and live with me now for a while. And I'm sure somewhere along the line, you'll be meeting my brother Joel. God, he looks like my Uncle Dave and my dad did. But, he doesn't have all this. So God bless you guys. And thank you, Navy and Johnny and Lolly and River Rat. Gosh, Elf. Of course, Nikki. Yeah, I hope the kids are doing well up there. So come on down and don't forget, we're going to try to do some other stuff. So yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to sign off now. God bless. Good day.